Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here for some live office hours. I got some really great questions this week and I wanted to share them with you all because I think they'll help many people. Um, One of the questions I got, and this comes up a lot in any of my core strength classes, is this idea of engaging the core and pelvic floor. And what do you do when maybe you can't hold that engagement throughout the entire class? So she asks, I can't always engage my core and pull up on my pelvic floor at the same time. Would you suggest stopping when I can't hold both, or keep going if I can still engage my abs and or lower abs? And in this case, you really want to, whenever you're doing some kind of movement, whatever that movement is, whether it's yoga, any other sort of exercise, or even, something that you're doing around the house, like so that you can access that core and pelvic floor engagement. You don't necessarily have to be able to hold it throughout the time. I can't hold the core, the root lock through an entire yoga practice. I have to constantly remind myself to re-engage. Now, that being said, you just want to make sure that that is accessible, because there's a point where that becomes inaccessible. So all of your ab muscles come in and they're like, oh, well, we're just going to take over, and you start pushing out, right? And we've talked about that a lot in the Yoga Strong program. So I just wanted to clarify that. Always reach out if you have any more questions about that specifically. The next question I got had to do with our Monday night class with the floor bow pose. I had trouble with floor bow and the stretches leading up to it. Are there any other poses or variations that I can do to work up to floor bow? Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to demonstrate here. Floor bow is this pose here. And I showed you this version, and I showed you how you can access that with a strap. Okay. However, if you're working on lengthening the core muscles and strengthening the back muscles, and floor bow does not feel right for you, what you want to do is focus on working on cobra, so baby cobra, where you're strengthening the back muscles. And to help lengthen those core muscles, you can start to move into high cobra, just making sure that you're not dumping into the back. So the difference is in high cobra, you're really using the arms to lift up, leading with the chest. And in baby cobra, you're really not using the arms. You're using the arms very little, if at all, because you're strengthening those back muscles. So work on those two poses to lead up to floor bow. I'm always happy to jump on if you have a question about a pose. Feel free to message me anytime. The next question I got was about kimchi. And this was from our Countdown to Clean in the Yoga Strong program. So in the Countdown to Clean, for those of you not in the program, we talk about different nutritional habits and eating habits, different foods that are healthy, and routines that are healthy. And this week I talked about fermented foods. And the question I got was, how do you eat kimchi? So you can eat kimchi by itself on the side with any meal. You can eat it over rice. You can put it in soups. You can put it on top of just about anything. It is considered a condiment. Now, those of you that are interested in Ayurveda should be aware that while kimchi really helps to promote digestion, and it can bring heat from the lactic acid in it, which is great in the wintertime, it's also a sour element in Ayurveda. So this can kind of aggravate vata dosha. So if you are familiar with that, and if you struggle with that, you just want to be mindful of when you're having kimchi and how much of it you're having, or any fermented vegetables. All right. So those are some questions I got. I hope that was helpful. If you have other questions, send me a message or feel free to reach out. And we'll get started at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with our challenge class. It's the third challenge class of the series. So we just have this one and then one more. And I hope to see you on your mat.